yeah, we've had, I would say, a real division in fandom. It seems to be that, like, the purple hair crazy crowd all loved it, right? It, like, all the kids, essentially. All the kids went, it's the bestest ever! Right? Because it's the only thing they can say, because it's got a black guy in the lead. And it feels progressive to them, right? So, yeah, they kind of all uniformly on mass. I worry outside of the cultural aisle is being somewhat reactionary. Well, I worry. I think they are being somewhat reactionary and seeing things. Some are seeing things that aren't there. There are things there to be certainly concerned about. But like as I was answering my my comments today, my feeling is this: we got to a point yesterday where we were presented a new version of Doctor Who, right? And a lot of people have a lot of questions about it. Like, well, there were things that, like, to them didn't make any sense. But here, let me pull this up. Yeah, let me pull this up. Hopefully, this will explain the point. So I just knocked this up quickly, Uwe, before we started. Now, what shape do you see there? Most people will say they see a square. Right now, why do they see a square? There's not a square there. It's 3 circles with a quarter chunk cut out of them. It's what happens is you're looking at it and your mind fills in the blanks, right? And it does it automatically to go, oh, it's a square, right? Even though it's not a square, it's a square. That's what illusion is, right? And that's the you use illusion in many areas of life, but throughout the arts, right? When one is doing a drawing, they're doing an illusion of whatever it is they're drawing. It's not really some flowers. It's lines and colors, right? It's an illusion. So for me, when I watched this yesterday's episode of Doctor Who, there are a lot of blanks in there. I would agree with you, but all of them were automatically filled in by my brain. In the same way that they are filled in my brain when they're making it see a square here, right? They were all automatically filled in. With the Chibnall stuff, the breaks in logic were too huge because, like, it would just contradict its own internal logic, right? And it wouldn't make any sense. This, however, Church and Rubio didn't, in my opinion, contradict its internal logic. It's a new take on Doctor Who. And for me, it has enough of the DNA of what is Doctor Who to make it be Doctor Who, where I don't think the Jodie Whittaker years did, right? That DNA being, I found Shooty Gutwood to be very authoritative. So a big question people have, why is he black now with this, like, very regional accent, right? Like, I mean, like, okay, I get him being Scottish again, but he came up with, like, Scottish Rwandan, sounds like he's from Trinidad. Like that's weird, right? Like, can you explain that? So again, that's one of the things, like, my head just filled in. But this is a very different take on Doctor Who. In the same way, I think that, you go from Invisible Enemy to not Invisible Enemy, say City of Death to Castrovalva, right? I would say that it's that much of a difference, right? One of the biggest differences is this: it's a sly masturbatory fantasy for gay people now, right? I mean, just in the same way, Perry was a masturbatory fantasy. Is, baby, is. And will never stop being a masturbatory fantasy, for young men watching at the time. Now the Doctor's a masturbatory fantasy. And he is. That's the point of, like, not just the dance scene. Now, are you able to watch that without cluing in it's a gay person masturbatory fantasy? I think yes, right? I don't think being the gay masturbatory fantasy that it is necessarily becomes so obvious that if I'm watching it with kids, that they like younger kids, they're going to go, what? Why is he? Why is he being so gay? Right? It's like, I don't think, but it is. It's like just in the same way, Yvonne Craig in the original Batman totally goes in the spank bank, right? 100%. And I'm sorry, that sparkly purple Batgirl costume, wrapped round Yvonne Craig. That is in the spank bank forever, right? So now these are gay masturbatory fantasies as opposed to straight masturbatory fantasies. So I don't know. If I was able to like squint and wink and go, oh, it's all, it's his Batgirl, it's okay. I was able to do it for that. Am I able to do it for this? Yeah, because again, for me, it's not like being, metaphorically, rubbed in my face. However, they are teetering a line. But where we are at now, I felt last night was a good starting point for whatever this new era of Doctor Who is, and it could build it to be something really good. They got to undo a lot of damage, though, unfortunately. And amazingly, the David Tennant specials really hurt this. I think really genuinely hurt this. I think if they launched just with Church on Ruby Road, a lot of the animosity that they're experiencing on this side of fandom, at least, wouldn't be there, right? Those David Tennant specials were a massive letdown, and they weren't very good. But people are taking nitpicks as if they are massive plot holes. And nitpicks is something we've had for ages. And they're in everything. Here, I just pulled this out today. Nitpicker's Guide for Next Generation Check Trackers. This is a book where it's just like everything wrong with every episode of the Next Generation, right? Conundrum Tote Board. Let's have a look what this was. Given Riker's resistance in a counter at Farpoint that Picard remain on the ship for his own safety, the number of dangerous planets visited by the captain, 22. Right? Things like that. Equipment ordered, changed premises. Near the beginning of the show, Wolf and Guinan practice together in the phaser range. What episode is this one? In Theory. Is it In Theory? Hang on 1 second. I think so. Or the next one. The pages are stuck together. It worked. Redemption. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a much better episode, Redemption. Fine. That's the one where Spock goes to leaves the Enterprise, right? He serves on a ship with his brother, doesn't he? That's with Wolf, right? So near the beginning of the show, Wolf and Guinan practice together their phaser range. Guinan tells Wolf she had a bet with Picard that she could make Wolf laugh before the rank lieutenant commander. Data and Forge are lieutenant commanders, and they have 2 solid fight. Not a good bet today, he replies. The conversation seems to proceed as if Guinan has never made Wolf laugh. In the opening episode of SS Enterprise, so Guinan made... Yeah, okay, exactly. Same thing. There are a lot of nitpicks, right? There are a lot of nitpicks. One thing that was a nitpick, however, was as Mega Geek has very graciously omitted the Goblin spaceship, the Goblin ship didn't blow up. It kind of vanished, right? So my basic, and we'll get into this when we get into the deep dive review of the episode. This is just kind of a amuse-bouche, get you into it. My basic take on it was this, that because the Doctor was discovering a new type of physics, a new type of science, that it meant something that meant their laws of physics didn't apply. So it seems to be the goblins are a incursion from a different realm, like a fantasy realm or something like that. And it seems to be like the borders of reality are much softer now than they ever have been in Doctor Who. In fact, they mentioned Mavity again last night. So it seems to be that Isaac Newton calling gravity, based on the word gravitas, obviously, would be a fixed point in time. And it seems like there are no more fixed points in time. I think this is a definite change in the Doctor Who universe, right? Now, why this is, I think we will probably address this at some point. But I think clues are being laid out now for a season, maybe several seasons worth of art. But especially in that last night, there's lots of clues being laid out. It might have something to do with the salt at the end of the universe, the toy maker. Who knows, right? We generally don't know. But yeah, so this incursion from a fantasy realm came into our Earth. Why is this happening? I don't know. Right? They're too busy kind of having fun to address these things. But look, I would remind you, speaking of nitpicks, things like that, I remember when I read the novelization of Encounter at Farpoint, right? So not Encounter at Farpoint, the Emissary, Deep Space Nine's pilot, right? So there's a scene in it, right? Not in the episode where O'Brien's trying to get the Kardashian computers working, and they're not, right? And they were trying to get the shields up. And eventually kicks it, and boom, it works, right? The shields go up. That doesn't really make any sense. It's just stupid, right? So in the novelization of that, they have the scene that O'Brien kicks it, and there's a panel at the bottom that Kardashians use to activate, right? That's how they explain it. Just because we were not given all the pieces of the puzzle doesn't mean they're not there. Essentially, why did they have O'Brien kick it? Because it was funny. It gave you a good story beat. Kick it and it started to work. It gave us a good story. Did it really work in terms of logic? No, but as I was saying Ian last night, this is not fly on the wall documentary. This is a entertainment, and an entertainment for a multi-generational entertainment. Right? It's something that you're supposed to be able to sit down with your kids. I would feel happy watching this with anything from my 5-year-old to 15-year-olds. I didn't feel the same way about Star Beast. And frankly, those specials, no kid would want to sit down and watch them. This was entertaining family fare, right? Very different from Doctor Who as we've seen before. Again, a much more fantasy. The rules are much, I wouldn't say laxer, softer. Right, the barriers of reality are much softer. So this was automatically filled in by my head. The scene where Shooty and Millie sings, right? I think it was kind of like, there was a musical episode of Buffy where they all could only communicate in song. I think that, and again, why was it? Because it was fun, right? What was the actual reason for it? Because it's fun to entertain a family, right? That's why. But like, in story, how does it make sense? I think, and this kind of we'll see when I do the deep dive. I got like a gazillion. How many screenshots? 354. Right, I have 354 screenshots. You'll see when we go through his tutor's performance that he seems to be decoding the language of this alternate science, which feels really Doctor Who-y to me, right? There was a great line in, which was it? One of the New Adventures. We have the Seventh Doctor, the New Adventures Seventh Doctor, complaining that humans didn't use the right people for the right jobs, right? They said we had a psychological invasion in our in their transit system. He said we should have had a team of like crack Zen Buddhists to go in, something like that. So because it's a different set of physical reality. So this thing's different. So why did he start to sing? I think he was attuning into the natural laws of that environment, which is a fantasy environment. People sing and dance, right? I think he was tuning into that. And once he tuned into that, he was carried on a flow with that, which is why Millie also sang, and why they also had the lyrics. They knew even though the lyrics were kind of stupid and didn't work. But the bottom line was it worked as an entertainment, and for me, it had enough of the DNA of Doctor Who. What's the DNA of Doctor Who? It's about two friends in time and space, a young girl companion, young lady companion, and the Doctor. The Doctor's got to be authoritative, which this Doctor was, right? He's got to be authoritative. He's got to be charming. He's got to be strong. He's got to be able to deal with enemies. He's got to be a hero, right? So this Doctor was all of that, and it was also wank material for gay people, right? So there is that, and you can't really get by it. But he is certainly. Well, there's a lot of spank bank material for the homosexuals. Which God bless them. Listen, I won't begrudge anybody their spank material, right? I really won't. I think so. We got that right. So we have like all the gay spankable stuff, but he's still an iconic. Like he seems to have all the DNA of a Doctor. Can a doctor be so openly spankable for when I say I'm talking about masturbatory fantasies? To masturbate over him. I just want to be clear, not literally. Yeah, just when you're thinking of him, don't need a picture unless if it helps you. Well, whatever floats your boat, baby. Right? I didn't think I'd get into gay masturbation on today's show. I didn't really prepare enough. I should ask much. Yeah, I should have done some research. No, don't do that. And then you got the Millie Gibson, who I think was freaking excellent. I think she was absolutely excellent through this. Shone through her soap opera background. I hope she gets the right roles. I hope she isn't like fucked over by Hollywood a billion times over, because she's a real talent, right? So the Heart Doctor is an adventure in time and space and his companion, right? And they're the bestest friends ever, and that's what these two seem to be, right? It seems to be that the Doctor-companion relationship is up there with Joe Grant and Third Doctor, with Sarah Jane Smith and the Fourth Doctor. In fact, the archetypal companion moment, right, for me, is when Joe Grant throws herself in front of the Doctor in the Demon, saying, "No, take me instead, the Demon," right? Because they just want to do good and they're brave. So I honestly think she works better than Rose did as a companion. That for me is the DNA of Doctor Who. Yeah, and it's so jarring and distracting having like a trans character in it, because look, the problem Rusty Davies has right now is the delusion that he feels that the reason people are not accepting of trans people is because they don't have enough exposure. No, the reason that people are not being accepting of trans people is because they have too much exposure, right? There's no way you can look at a trans person and go, "Oh, that's normative," right? I relate to it. When I see this bloke, Ruby's friends was wearing tights and makeup and was clearly a bloke, right? Clearly had a penis, right? So there's no way I look at it and go, "Oh, that's normal," right? I can look at two men in a relationship and go, "That's two normal people in a relationship," right? When they start wearing giant moose heads for no apparent reason, that's not normal. Oh, we got to expose the moose heads more so people get used to them. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. It makes it worse, right? And, the drag queen story out, it made it worse. It made acceptance go down, right? Because it made us look at what this is, and it's basically some kind of trans strip club thing going on, and now it's for children. You shouldn't have had us pay attention to it. That was your mistake. You said, "Oh, go look at this and look at this closely. Isn't it normal and natural?" No, fuck off. It's not. Right, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I don't think they're going to be able to bring anybody around to that. But and that is probably, very likely, what could sink them. Are they going to go back the Star Beast route? Maybe, right? They may well be, right? And if they do, it's curtains for them, right? Because again, the insanity of it that David Tennant and Catherine Tate didn't give them incredible springboard. Instead, they gave them a massive weight around their neck. Right, like literally a massive weight around their neck, it hampered this new era, right? It genuinely hampered it, right? Again, as I've already said, if the new era opened with this, it would have been much better received if it didn't have those three. Yes, again, boring, tired, old-fashioned specials. All of they were just creaky and they weren't very good. This had new life to it. This breathed life, right? So for me, it was a win, right? For me, it was a win. Now, but it's a win as far as we got to a foundation. That's just where we are. We're at a foundation, a starting block, and I want to go on this journey over the next 8 episodes and see what it's like, right? To me, it seems like, again, a new take on Doctor Who. I feel this is as much Doctor Who as Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 1 was Star Trek. I don't think season 2 was, but I think season 1 was. So, but yeah, it's definitely different. And they very much separated it from original Doctor Who with the bi-generation, right? And the changing of the lore of the galaxy, of the world. But again, if it's about a guy having adventures with their best mate in time and space, but one is a companion, one and he's a doctor, that's it. Complete. It's fine. Okay, so now he's got a different accent and skin's black. That doesn't really. It didn't really impact on it for me, right? It really didn't, right? And I'm going to be there for the. I'm looking forward to it coming back, right? Actually, I am. I want to see what this new era is because I like new, interesting, different things. And for me, this was the best Doctor Who since 2017, obviously. And again, the sea change between this and Capaldi's last, I would say, is this. It's the difference between Tom Baker and Peter Davison, which were really remarkably different, right? They were remarkably different styles of shows. All right. I mean, especially when you get, you got season 18, which is kind of like the bridge between the two, but even there, right? They're really, okay, by the time you get into the end of season 19, the season 19, season 20, you compare that to season 14, season 15, 17, whatever. When you compare, if you can do that comparison, it's no more jarring and different than this, right? But it is different, right? And here's the thing about Doctor Who. I think it works best when it's young, as well. When it is on the cutting edges of culture, which it really should be. That's where it works best. Look, this might not be for you. This new young Doctor Who may not be. It might not be for me. I know. What they put on screen thus far has made me say, yeah, I can consider this Doctor Who within the parameters that I've already laid out. Right, and it was entertaining, and I'm happy and excited to see more, right? I think that's the where I am with it. But yeah, so that was like the broad strokes of where I am with all stuff. Fine, let's get to the chat, right? Let's get to the chat. Doink. So we have Reverend Ravenwolf here. Is that the same as Mark the Vicar, or is it a different one? How you doing, Reverend Ravenwolf? Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jekyll and Hyder's here. Howdy, folk. So was it woke? That's a good question. Was it woke? Well, certainly you had the trans singer in it. Was it shouting at me that I didn't think he was a woman? No, it was. It didn't shout at me because I didn't think she was a woman, right? I don't think it was woke. And honestly, it had some really great fundamental, I think, very, very Christmassy messages to it. In terms of Christmas special, I want to compare this episode to other Christmas specials, and I want to rank it compared to other debut stories, right? Let's do that now. 1 second. One second. We're getting a new. We make the font a bit bigger so I can read it. I'll share the screen. Doink. Share screen. Fine. So let's it's a bit big. It's a bit too big, darling, she cried. Jigger jigger. The church on Ruby Road. Okay, and then I'm not going to count the woman who fell to us because I'm not doing the joke. Jodie stuff is always at the bottom. It's always shit. It was never Doctor Who. Right? It was never Doctor Who. I wrote, if I may say so, quite a good short story, which is a Peter Capaldi read. So forget that. So Gentleman, what's better than that or Deep Breath? Oh, Deep Breath was cat. Deep Breath. No, you are going beneath Church and Ruby Road. 100%. Deep Breath, they made an hour and 5 minutes long, and it would have been better if they made it a regular length episode. It was like 20 minutes too long, right? No, Deep Breath was like. However, 11th Hour is like the gold standard of debut episodes. So 11th Hour is fantastic. Christmas Invasion Which is better, Church on Ruby Road or Christmas Invasion? I actually prefer Church on Ruby Road, frankly. Yeah. I bet it's better than Deep Breath, which is just crack. Okay, Christmas Invasion. It really just suffers from not having enough David Tennant in it, quite frankly. So that was David Tennant. I mean, we're not going to do War Doctor, obviously. That's one story. Then we got Rose. Was Rose better than Christmas Invasion? I think yes. Was it better than the Church on Ruby Road? It's very close, right? It's very close. I think Church on Ruby Road has it by a little bit, just by having more experience on what they're doing, right? So then I'll do the McGann story. Yeah, Enemy Within. That's fair enough. Let's think. So the McGann movie, I like that a lot. I prefer. Okay, what do I prefer? The McGann movie is better than Deep Breath, Christmas Invasion, Rose. Is it better than the Church on Ruby Road? Oh, I'm gonna say they're equal. It's a tie, right? It's a tie. They're too close. TV movie. Yeah, one sec. Enemy Within. There's a lot about that I liked, I have to tell you. Fine. So before that, we have Time of the Rani. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, fuck up that guy. That's below all of this. Time and the Rani. Yeah, no. Sorry. Not. I mean, we were the boat. That's where the boat of Doctor Who started to turn around and get slightly better. But still, Time the Rani, Shakespeare compared to the Twin Dilemma. Fuck me. They are bad. Twin Dilemma. So Church on Ruby Road is doing very well. Wow, okay. So then before that, Sixth Doctor, Fifth Doctor's Castrovalva. Oh, I like Castrovalva a lot. Right? It's a bit cerebral. Okay, Castrovalva better than Deep Breath. Castrovalva better than Christmas. Yes, it's better than Christmas Invasion, better than Rose. Yeah, I'm putting it between Rose and TV movie and Church on Ruby Road. Castrovalva. Bit of Escher. I do like the new effects on the DVDs. Is pretty good. So Castrovalva. Then we have Robot. Not one of Tom Baker's best, but pretty darn good, solid story. I'm going to put that. What do I put? Yeah, no. Robot goes. What's better, Robot or Castrovalva? Which way am I going to go on that one? I'm going to say it's below Castrovalva because I like the originality of that, right? And Robot just felt like kind of a little bit out of time. So then we got Spearhead from Space. Ooh, good one. You know what? That's going. Yeah, like Spearhead from Space. I mean, it's nearly a perfect opening story. Is excellent. And then we got Power of the Daleks. I've only ever seen it through the animation. The animation is pretty darn good. It's a good, creepy story. I'm putting that with Church on Ruby Road and TV movie. So that's Power of the Daleks. And it's an excellent story. I really do like that. Fine. And then, of course, it will be Unearthly Child. Oh, where does that go? I think it goes right at the top, right? I think that goes equal to Spearhead from Space. Unearthly Child. Right, fine. But another thing people talked about in the episode was, oh no, it confirmed the Timeless Child. I don't really think it did. He said, oh yeah, I'm adopted. I just found out. The vibe I got from this episode was this had taken place many, many, many years after the giggle, right? Yeah, many, many years later. Yeah. So there. So I think it's ranking quite. How is it? 1, 2. Do I rank this at 4 then? Because I guess so. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Add that end zeros in 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let me do 10. Hey, you see, that's why the zeros in. 11, 12, 13. So, okay, it came out number 4 out of 13. And I think that's pretty darn strong. Right, I do. I think that's pretty darn strong. So there it is with the ranked with here we go. Debut episodes ranking. Let's save this. Let's do it. Debut stories ranking. Doink. Fine. Okay, I think that was actually a worthwhile little experiment, don't you? Right. I think honestly, I think it like puts it in context of being one of the better debut stories, and honestly, I think it was. Right now, again, was Shooting Cat were a gay masturbatory fantasy for most of it? Yes. But the bits where he wasn't, it was quite doctory. So was it woke? It's in the eye of the beholder, I would say. Darren M is here. How you doing, Darren M? Obsidian Curses there. How you doing? It wasn't woke in the same way Chibnall stuff was woke, right? This was for me, it held together, right? And I think the complaints a lot most have about it are nitpicks rather than actual real complaints. As long as the tiniest children exist, I can't take it seriously. Well, firstly, you shouldn't take it seriously. And I don't think the tiniest children exist. Canon has become very mutable, right? It's possible to have one person watch it and believe, oh yeah, all the Jodie stuff made complete sense and is totally legitimate, and another person watch it and go, no, that none of that ever happened, right? I think it's completely possible to do that. Why? Because I've done it, right? I've totally done it with my. Here, 1 second. Let me pull this up. Like with this thing, right? I go listen to it. I'm telling you, it's 10 minutes long. And it's as legitimate as anything else that we've seen until what something we see on screen contradicts it. So yeah, last night he said he's adopted too, but again, I got the feeling there could have been decades, could have been hundreds of years in between the giggle and this. And he said, I only found out recently, but the vibe I got was he's was referring to something totally different other than the Timeless Children. And as long as they keep it like that, vague like that, I'm fine. Keep it vague, keep it mysterious. That's okay, right? That's totally okay. That's good, in fact, right? The problem is when it's not vague, it's just atrociously written. Like, you know, the whole Timeless Child, the tech turn stuff, all that stuff never made sense and never had any payoff. So as I said, look, go and watch them or listen to this on YouTube. And the Timeless Children are gone forever, and I really do believe that, right? Go listen to that. Oh, tell you, Melly, you look gorgeous, darling. I mean, she really does look gorgeous. But you shouldn't take it seriously because literally everything is canon now, right? Which is a massive change, and I think it's a detrimental change, right? I think it's something that will ultimately hurt Doctor Who. I'm talking about seeing what they put on screen in front of me. This was. Fine. It feels fine. Pared it down to its most basic, the most basic points of what Doctor Who is, and move forward. And I think that's probably the best way to go. Where was it? This is James says, it doesn't seem weird him singing as he is a doctor. It's almost like he was speaking their language. That's exactly what I think he was doing. Well, Ruby should have been more nervous and bad at singing. Again, I think that was hooking into the magic, right? The laws, the laws of that reality. So we've gone from interesting sci-fi drama to spank back for some gays and family entertainment song and dance. It ain't Doctor Who. That is. Well, I know. Again, I think if you have the core of the Doctor and companion having adventures in space, time and space, which they got the pieces for. Let's see if they do that. Right? I'm intrigued to see what these next eight episodes are going to look, and I'm going to be like, and I'm looking forward to them. But this is the first time we've really got a look at what this new era is, and for me, it was welcome. Again, we will do the deep dive review when I finish the chat, and we'll see what's going on. It was Disney that wanted the season to start at 1 again. I believe that, but it's probably not a bad idea in terms of branding. You know, like I do think this is the right. This is its own entity. I think everything post Capaldi has been something different, right? When during the classic era was Doctor Who on the cutting edge of culture? All the time. What are you talking about? From Unearthly Child onwards. Right? Unearthly Child was white hot. It was like, the Daleks. That was the cutting edge of culture. Oh my God, the radioactive Nazis in little tanks. Yeah, no, that in 1963. Okay, so in 1963 it was 18 years after World War II. So that will take us back to 2000. Where 2023. 18 minus 23 is. Take us to 2005, right? It's not that far ago, yeah. And then when we got to the Pertwee era, it reinvented itself. It became like the X-Files of the day. John Pertwee was a very contemporary James Bond-like figure. Reinvented itself again with Tom Baker. Again, also very contemporary with Peter Davison. It floundered with Colin Baker, but rebounded nicely. And it fitted back into the zeitgeist of culture for the last 2 seasons of Sylvester McCoy. McGann was a one night only, but he was a bit of a pastiche of the Doctor. I think Rose was very contemporary TV in the Ninth Doctor, as was the 10th Doctor. So yeah, it was always. I think. Rabbi seems to be hoping the Star Beast and the Bi-Generation were just a blip. No, I don't think they were. Right? I don't think they were. I think every indication is this series will take the great ingredients that they put on screen so far and fuck it up. Okay? That's what I assume will happen. At no point do I think, oh yeah, this is going to work out great, right? This is going to work out. It might do. I hope it does. I like this special was better than I thought it possibly could be. But I'm certain that we will set the true tone for this coming season. Time will tell. Paul, you are more likely right than wrong. And what do you be absolutely? You are far more likely you are right than you're wrong. Hosting excavates with Houdini. Funny thing is, here they were that was a reference to a Big Finish story. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that line was actually a direct reference to this. Harry Houdini's War by Steve Lyons, a Sixth Doctor with Harry Houdini as his companion, essentially. The world is at war, and Harry Houdini wants to fight for his adopted country. He might get the chance when an old friend crashes his New York show. The Doctor is on the trail of a Central Powers spy ring, which has somehow acquired an unearthly technology, but he is also keeping a dangerous secret, fighting himself on the run behind enemy lines. The world's greatest escape artist has his work cut out. Has his work cut out? Who he has to work out who he can trust and fast. So they're actually referencing this story, right? Weirdly enough, I thought so. Anyway, 1 second. Screen doink. Well, I'm so behind on the chat. I thought I was doing good. Is Mrs. Flood Susan? I don't know, but I like the setting up the mystery, right? I don't think Mrs. Flood is Susan because she, a lot different things. I think she was a companion of this doctor for a little bit. Maybe she was Ruby. Who knows? But every other doctor had a last scene appearance and then a complete introduction story. Ncuti effectively combined the first and last story in the giggle. Yeah, it was a bad idea. Ncuti got fucked over by David Tennant, right? And I don't think he resisted at all. If Ruby's mother's herself and it's a closed loop paradox, when she is both a mother and a daughter, well, that would be a weird sexual fantasy. You have a mother and daughter and they're the same person. That's very creepy. Okay, you know what very creepy is? Okay, let's say I told this to my son. Let's say your kid comes out as being gay, right? Okay, fine, whatever. But then he brings home his boyfriend, and you know how girls get attracted to people who are like their fathers, and boys get attracted to women have the qualities of their mother. That's pretty true, actually. He brings home his boyfriend, and he looks like a young version of me. Mark the Maker is here. I have not watched it. It's in. I've not had the vax smug bastard award. Well, I think you should. Think you deserve it, right? I think Miss Ladd is an older version of Ruby. Could well be, right? Could well be. Probably is not remotely interested. Again, check out his Misshapen Planet. It's really good, right? Be fair, yeah, Sarah Jane was the perfect 70s feminist in the 70s. Doctor Who's always been very, very contemporary. Yeah, okay, you want robot number one, says Problem Bring. I don't know. I like the robot, but it wasn't that great, right? Everyone's saying robot by a country mile. Put robot. Wait, fine. Let me re-examine. Robot number 8. I don't know. I think wait. Let's look at this again. Let's look at this again. Share screen. See, for me, Robot felt like a hangover, like a leftover script from Pertwee, and it didn't really work. I mean, it wasn't a bad story. I mean, I put it above Rose and Christmas Invasion, and it's nearly at that. I mean, I would rather watch Castrovalva, right? But I think Power of the Doctors, TV movie, Church and Ruby Road, Unearthly Child, Spirit of Space, and Eleventh Hour are all unquestionably better than. So we're talking about 1 point, right? They're all unquestionably better than Robot. Power of the Daleks, yes, that's a solid script. That's a great script. TV movie, I love that. I think it's a great bit of entertainment. Church of Ruby Road, well, we've been talking about that. That might be the controversial one. Unearthly Child better than Robot? Yes, it is. Spearhead Space better than Robot? Yes, it is. 11th Hour better than Robot? Yes, it is. Right. I don't know, unless you want to say no. It's up to you, baby. It's up to you. Because I thought this special was more entertaining than Robot. Problem is, how is it lower than the special? I thought the special was more entertaining, right? I thought it was Robot's something I would sit and watch and enjoy for myself. But I would have to have a grandkid who really gets into Doctor Who before they would even think of getting there, right? It's not something I can share with another generation, which is such an important factor to me, right? It really is such an important factor. This is James says onions are forever. Well, I can't. Some people say diamonds. You say onions. I like that. Think the rabbit is drunk with the list. Way twin dilemmas at the bottom, baby. I don't know. Is this how the woke virus starts? Okay, let me tell you. I had a bit of a freak out today. This neighbor came round who was like the closest to being non-binary in our community. I'm not sure like what the deal is. It's not my business. I'm not going to get involved with an arse, right? But it turns out the white cat we got, who is growing, who's like 3 times the size that she was about a week ago. Like we're trying to find a home for her now. And apparently it was the neighbor's cat. I'm like, but it turns out it wasn't. She was an outdoor cat, right? They just left food for her. I'm like, no, this is indoor cat now. Like we got her the shots and everything. This, as I thought my wife was just like, yeah, take this cat, make her live outside. I don't give a shit, right? So I was not overly happy about all that. But because this person might, I don't know what their deal is, right? But I said if you give them the cat, they're gonna think she's a dog. Watch out. For me, Power and Robot are the best. The rest of the range incredibly disappointing. Ruby Road was a great episode, but it had a few problems. Certainly had a few problems, Vasco. I completely agree with you. Steve Andrew says no, it wasn't woke. I don't think it was woke, right? I think it was woke adjacent. I like seeing the Beatles portrayed in the preview clip. Hopefully we'll be looking at that, but I don't think there'll be anything more of them actually in the story. Probably not. Oh, you started it. Oh, great, brilliant. I have to plug this thing that you did. I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay, I got swallowed up by. Well, where was that? Where was the link? Hang on. let me find the link. So Odia Start has made his own stop motion animated Doctor Who, which is a lot of fun. I would recommend that you get some AI voices in there rather than having speech captions. And some music. Where is it? It's oh, wait a minute. I can find it over here. Hang on. We'll go to, if I go here, I'll look for the word motion. There you go. I'll look for there. Okay, it came right up. Look at me. So there you go. Go over here. Please subscribe. Give it a like. Fan-made stuff is the way to go. Especially, I really want to talk about Misshapen Planet tonight because it was so good, right? I'm actually really psyched I'm more psyched for the second episode of that than I am for this new series. I'm so sorry, Steve Andrews' cousin passed away, and it was a subscriber. I'm doubly sorry now. Blimey. Nobody cancel his Google account. I want to keep that sub, baby. I hate to be partisan, but you got to look after yourself, baby. Do we have the overnights of the episode yet? Yes, it was 4.76, so it's a rise. I'll talk about it when after I get to the tab, but it was a rise, and relatively good news, I think, for it. Philip Bogart, how you doing? I mean, look, it wasn't good ratings because you don't get good ratings on TV anymore, right? But it did. I think it did. It probably did as well as they were hoping it would do. So you're so glad they didn't race swap the Beatles. Oh God, could you imagine? I bet it was stupid race swaps in the episode. It's so much better for being authentic. I agree with you completely. Right? I agree with you completely. Gary Reed is here. Hey, doing Gary Reed. Thank you for joining us. 4.73 overnight. Yes, we will talk about that shortly. Whizzing through the chat now. Okay, I'm still 20 minutes behind. Really? We have to talk about problem being misshapen planet. He has seen a pronoun the unavoidable doctor about it. We find the showrunner after RCT just retcons the timeless children to win back the general public. That'd be too late by then, right? Rabbi's Christmas special will feature a lot of Perry and Ruby. Oh God, yes it would. I mean, honestly, let's say the Rabbi's Christmas special will be something like I have Ming the Merciless's sex ring, right? And I love in Flash Gordon, the first thing Ming does when he sees Del Arden, only the 70s version, is he hits her with a sex ray from the ring, Right? It's like, oh, yeah, oh, Ming. And then he goes, she goes off to be his sex toy, right? And they have other sex slaves there with it. Oh, yeah, basically, yeah, I want Perry and Millie do that. That sounds great. Latest 8 Doctor Christmas Big Finish wasn't too bad. Problem was with that is the companion Audacity, who is like nails on a fucking chalkboard. The first story was the best one, 24 Doors. Second, because she was hardly in it. Second one, she was in it a bit more, and it was much weaker. And third one, whenever she was in it, she was nails on a chalkboard, right? But it was better than their first set, right? Absolutely. Next thing, Disney will buy BBC. Disney's probably not making it to 2025. In terms of just a different answer about it, as in it not being Doctor Who's problem being, well, okay, that's a hard bar. That's a hard bar to get over. HM in the UK has got the beginning set for $9.99. So Steve Andrews, that's a great idea. That's a great little set. Rabbi, it was hot and steamy summer between Harry Houdini and the Doctor. Yeah, no, that story took place in the summer. I just think they were adding in, a bit of, what's the word again? Salation, right? Salation. Liam Nielsen's. I tried again. I screwed up. Liam Nielsen's chin is here. I will find you. And I will kill you. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. What about would Gatwa have been cast if he wasn't black and gay? Probably not. Right? Look, Rusty Davis went in. He wanted a gay masturbatory fantasy. Okay, which is what this Doctor is, right? Did Ruby's Dr. Grandmother fancy shooty? I didn't get that vibe. Well, I thought she was like, well, what's he doing here? Right? It was an hour too long. Dude, it was only an hour. Matthew Powder. Robo introduced a new Doctor in the most unusual way. Well, yeah, listen, he was like that first episode when he's got all the different costumes coming on. But honestly, it was only... Yeah, it was the first episode where he's crouching down with the dandelion and it was pulverized, right? And that's the moment where he first really felt like the Doctor. But honestly, it wasn't really till Ark in Space that I think he really, which was the next story, right? Which is when he comfortably eased into being the Doctor, right? Tom Baker clips everyone after him. Yes and no. I mean, I think Sylvester McCoy was the first one really to come out of the shadow of Tom Baker. Then he was cancelled, right? And then you had Paul McGann was basically a pastiche Doctor, right? He was an amalgam of what you expected the Doctor to be. By the time he got to Eccleston, you were totally out from the shadow of Tom Baker, right? Totally out from that. But I do hear. You're not wrong, right? They cast a long shadow. We might have had a different actor from Tom Baker onwards, as Pertwee might or not have left if Roger Delgado. It could well be true, right? I always thought the Graham Crowden casting would have been good, right? I like Graham Crowden. Was it Graham Crowden? No, I think the. Who am I thinking of? Commander Ivanov, also lonely. Russell Hunter. Freaking love Russell Hunter. He is a great actor. Reason I don't use AI is because I would like the audience to imagine who will be a great voice for the role. As for the music, I don't want to copyright strike. Dude, you just go to the YouTube copyright library, music library. Right, but it's a lot more work. I mean, that's a draw. But everybody, please check that out. Definitely give them a like, give them a sub. It's all good, baby. Fine. Tom Baker, Davison, Troutman on my top 3 Doctors. Fine. Caught up with the chat. Excellent. So, shall we look at the ratings first, or shall we go into the episode? By the way, next year, I'm waiting till I have grandkids, and I will be buying this book for them for their Hanukkah present. Listen, there's the greatest book ever. Hookers and Blow, Save Christmas. Darling, Hookers and Blow always save Christmas. Let's be frank. Hookers and Blow always save Christmas. I mean, like, that will always make a Christmas better. Yeah, fine, over here. Ratings. So, yeah, the King got 7.48. I mean, even the King only got 7.48. Strictly 5.29. Doctor Who 4.73. So this is the across all the channels. So fine. So it did better than Call the Midwife, which is pretty. I mean, I first thought, is that a rerun? Call the Midwife. Did better than Michael McIntyre. Did better than Stenders. Well, that doesn't get ratings anymore. So what am I thinking of? Did better than Ghosts. I mean, like, basically, it was only beaten by Strictly. I mean, you can't really count the King. That's across all the channels. And again, why? Because they just make shit on TV. Now, the good news about this, I think, for Doctor Who is it's rebounding and going in the different direction that it was going from the specials. Right, let me just pull this up. Where is it? Doink. Yeah. Over here. Doink. So you see it went down. It got 5.08, then it lost 200,000 people after the intense wokeness of the Star Beast, right? It was like, a bit of vomiting in their own mouth. All right. And then it went down another couple 100,000. Now it turned that around. I think it turned that around because the giggle was, generally speaking, not that woke, not that preachy, not that in your face. I'm hoping people like Ncuti Gatwa, frankly, right? I mean, that's really their only hope to climb out from honestly, David Tennant was a disaster. So you got 4.73 as an overnight, and again, yeah, I understand it's very low because again they killed TV, morons that they are. Yeah, do I have the rating? Yeah, I should have it here somewhere. Ratings dive, is it? That's Doctor Who rankings. Never say never again. Oh, I got to do it. Maybe I'll do that on next show. Like we'll you know, because the James Bond movie is Christmas, baby. Where was it? Season. There was some kind of comparison. Season 10 to 12, was it? So, yeah, Capaldi's season 10. So his final special, I think, the Dr. Falls, got 5.06. That's consolidated, isn't it? Was it season 10? Yeah, 5.64. Right, so that'll be the consolidators. That's probably, this will probably do better than that, right? This will probably do better. So I think this is considered a success for the BBC. Frankly, I think they're feeling quite happy about this figure, even though they probably aren't feeling happy about any figures because they're all very bad, right? They are all very, very bad. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.